Hey everyone! While I was doing my own makeup for today, I thought let's do a quick tutorial on hooded eyelids. Okay, so I have hooded eyelids and I have a feeling as I get older they will continue to be hooded even more so. So with hooded eyelids mean, okay, like when you're looking you see that the eyelid kind of comes down onto this main part of your lid, right? In everyday life this can be same tips. You're just not going to do it as dark for the stick, like every day, right? The biggest thing to remember is shadow and highlight. Normally, right, the dark part of our eyeshadow is going to be used as a contour for the crease. Well, with hooded eyes, if you put it into the crease, especially this eye is more hooded than this one, you're not going to see the shadow. So why should I put the eyeshadow there if you're not going to see it? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cheat. We're going to cheat the eye to thinking that our crease is up here. First, you're going to take your darker shadow. Okay, these are the two that I would suggest for on stage. So I'm going to dip in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat the line. So my crease is down here, but I want my eye to appear bigger, so I'm bringing my crease right here. And we're doing kind of like a C shape, okay? Now we all have different shaped eyes, so depending on your eye, kind of depends on how big of a C you want to do, or if you want to do a little more of an L and bring it here to the corner and then here. But we don't want like really sharp corners. We just want to make sure that at the end we blend those corners in. Okay, so for most of you, I think this will be a good shape to keep it a little more rounded. I'm gonna bring it up a little bit more here, because you don't want to do the full C down this way where I was starting to go. You just want to do that. And I would just start off with drawing that line. And as you add your highlight, more of this darker color, you're going to be blending as you go. It's really nice to just do that first. I'm just going to buff it right now and start blending. And I probably blended it a little too much. Now I will sometimes use a small brush for this, depending on how detailed I want it to be. You're going to want to have that detail for stage, so I wouldn't do anything larger than this eyeshadow brush, because then you can create that line. I could go in with this side now that I have my outline there, and I can place it in here. And I'm just tapping it in so I keep the darkness of the color, and then I like to bring it down into the corner a little bit as I blend. I'm going to add a little bit more here. Okay, so in this area is where I would add a third like medium color, if like for every day, to help blend in some of that darkness. Okay, but notice that I'm leaving this space open. Okay, so you've probably heard of a cut crease before, right? And that can get crazy and technical, but basically what it is creating a larger eyelid for your light colors to go on to. So you can do that very carefully and skilledly if you'd like. With like, you could do like your smaller end of the brush if you wash it off. I like this kind of shape for that, because you're gonna come into here, okay, and open things up, or your finger can be really great for this. So because most of you probably don't have a million brushes on hand like I do, have a problem, it's okay. I would just use your finger. And this is a great time where you can use the highlight if you purchased your cream Benay kit, okay? So this is cream. You can blend the creams and the powder, and yes, it will get tricky. However, you just want to keep them kind of away from each other, and then you'll still want to set this cream and make sure that you don't have an excess of it on your lid, or you'll get lots of creasing. People aren't going to see that creasing from the stage, more likely than not, because of the amount of makeup you're putting on. It's going to crease regardless. However, if you're setting it with your translucent powder or even a light eyeshadow powder, it should be good. So I'm going to take this, and let me see, best angle here, and I'm just going to dot it. I probably even got a little too much on my finger, but I like my finger because it fits like in this little socket really well. Go figure. And then I can just press it up. I'm just kind of blending as I go, and I'm going to press it up to my pretend crease, because of course my real crease is down here. And then I would just keep pressing that. You're gonna get a little here, and I would just kind of blend it and keep it, because that also, having a little light in the inner corner of your eye, is gonna pop that color as well. Then of course for stage I would go a little darker than this, but since I have to do real life things today, I'm gonna keep it a little lighter. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with my non-shimmer, okay, green color to help set it. And I'm just doing it with my fluffy side of the brush, and I'm gonna press it on. You also could do this with your finger as well, and that will just help set it. In fact, if you have an eyeshadow that is really thin and you feel like you have to layer it a lot to get the most out of it, your finger is the best option. So you just rub it in there and press it on. And you see how much more you'll get on the lid. And then you can take your little buff again and buff out anything you needed. And then while you have a little bit of that left on your brush, I would just go up above the eyebrow and kind of help soften that up a little bit. But for stage, it doesn't have to be super soft. And now I'm gonna go back in. And just get this a little more even. Now you can connect this line into here a little bit if you'd like with that medium color, or you could just leave it open. It depends on how bright and open you want your eyes to be. And little tips and tricks, again, your fingers work really well. You can just brush up like this to get any of the excess off of your eyeshadow. I personally would do your eyeshadow first before the rest of your face, so you don't have to touch up any of the rest of the fallout. And then up gives you a youthful lift there. And then remember, we want to make sure we don't have super sharp lines here, because that definitely would not be era appropriate, right? With your eyeliner, whether you have a gel liner, a pencil liner, a brush and a gel pot, that kind of thing, with our hooded eye gals, you're gonna want to make sure we want the darkness there, right? Because we want the outline, but we don't want to erase all this great brightness we just added. So you're gonna want to do your line as low to the lash as possible. It's hard to say on stage. During the day, I don't bring mine in any further to here, usually, if I want my eyes to be more open. I'm purposely going for that. So my suggestion with many of you who have really hooded eyes is only to come about to maybe the edge here of your eyeball. Okay, so I gotta get my lashes out of the way. But I'm trying to let you see this here. I'm gonna do like as close to the lash line as possible. So then I still have lid to see, right? I didn't draw over the openness that we just did. And can you tell kind of the difference just by the light? How much bigger this side looks than the other, okay? We're not doing any sort of cat eye, that kind of thing. So just round it out to the edge. We're going to do the same here. When you want your eyes to appear larger, you don't necessarily want a big line down here because that cuts everything back off. It's tricky because on stage you do still want a little bit of shadow there. So what I would do is do the most of your liner here. And then I'm just gonna smudge it a little bit. Then you want to make sure it attaches to the one here, so you have that kind of C shape. And then I would go like really close to the lash line again, and just add a really soft shape here, and then stay out of the corners there. Okay, of course you're going to want to do mascara and or lashes on the bottom. I would do a lot here in the corner as well, and then lightly do it here where we kind of have the smudge look. So you do have some definition there for stage, but so the majority of it is out here opening up your eye. And last but not least, what I think finishes off every eyeshadow look is a highlight underneath your eyebrow. For the highlight, you can go back to the cream here or back to your light matte shadow. Because I'm pretty fair complexion, I usually go with the cream. Or like a cream illuminator that, you know, of course not want one with a shimmer, but that's what I tend to do. And then if there's anything like a little bit of excess or whatever on your shadow there, you can just soften that up. And there you go. So hopefully you can see that that's gonna be a bigger eye.